Welcome to the Sage ACPAC Extended Enterprise Suite presentation on the AR Collection Manager. Let's take a look at our agenda. First, we'll start with our objective. Then we'll look at productivity management as it relates to getting people or customers to pay on time or getting people or customers to pay sooner. Then we'll actually do a presentation of the AR Collection Manager, which will include showing a list of all past due invoices, looking at our aging, looking at our task, and appointments. We'll then review the benefits and speak about our contact details. Let's take a look at our objective for this session. The objective from today's session is to better understand how Sage is delivering on its promise of Customer Connected by adding productivity management features to your Extended Enterprise Suite. We hope it encourages you to ask questions about how the new features of the Extended Enterprise Suite can benefit your employees and ultimately your business. Sage Productivity Management. The Sage Extended Enterprise Suite is about helping your staff become more productive through tools such as the AR Collection Manager. Productivity management is the ability to automate, track, analyze, and better understand each and every interaction we have with our customers, prospects, partners, vendors, and internal staff. Whether it is tracking each interaction involved in a successful sale or every contact involved managing the organization's cash flow. Let's talk about getting people to pay sooner, or getting your customers to pay sooner. Approximately how much cash do you collect every month? Let's say, in our example, $500,000. Well, if you could collect the cash sooner. Well, let's say in the example we collect $500,000 a month. By collecting 25% of that, which is approximately $125,000, 7 days earlier, we can actually increase our interest earned by $865 a year. That's a substantial earnings by getting our money sooner from our existing customers within our organization. So what if we could get our customers or people to pay on time? How many of your customers pay late? How much interest are you losing on that money? What if you could collect the cash sooner? So in our example again, using the $500,000 collection a month, if 10% of our customers pay an average of 12 days late, that is 12 days worth of interest we lose, not to mention if they paid on time or earlier, up to 35 days of interest that we could have potentially captured, but we're losing it because we're getting paid so late past our terms with this customer. So using the AR Collection Manager tool to facilitate earlier collection and earlier payment will end up in earning more interest at the baseline of your organization. Let's now take a look at our AR Collection Manager. We now have navigated over to Sage CRM. We've selected a browser. We've opened up the URL to Sage CRM. We're going to log on as the administrator, and you'll notice that I've logged in with version 6.1i. I click on Log On. I now log into CRM. Once I'm logged into CRM, I now can navigate to My CRM, which is where we are by default, and then the new tab called Collections. Once I click on the Collections tab, you'll now see our new Collections tool or Collections Manager available. At the top right of the screen, you can see some default settings that I have set up. As of 6/23/2010, this is where our sample data resides between Sage CRM and ACPAC ERP. We are looking at our cutoff date by posting date or document date. We have a choice either way. We also then have our cutoff date set to 10/13/2010. So since this is where the sample data resides, I can now synchronize or refresh my aging by clicking on the Synchronize button. And at that point, the synchronized data will be refreshed, and we now will see current aging of 1 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, or over 90. And these are all default values that you can change in the system. And as a result of these settings, we now have a pipe over here on the left, And we can see the red is over 90. So we have a fairly large balance of over 90 days. We also have 61 to 90. We also have 31 to 60, and then 1 to 30. If I want to focus in on the 61 to 90, I simply click on this, and the filter will automatically show me invoices of just 5 invoices totaling a amount of $3,437. If we really need to focus on the over 90, which looks like a very large portion of our revenue that hasn't been received, I can simply click on the filter, and the system will now show me all my 42 invoices totaling $562,321. A lot of money. So you can see here the system allows me to filter on that information. So right below that, we also have a filter or parameters that we can specify. So if I click on the little filter icon with the checkbox, this gives me parameters I can specify. And these parameters I can use to look at specific information. So let's say of that overdue amount, over 90 days, I want to call Ronald Black. And I only want to look at Ronald Black's information. And I know that Ronald Black, the company, as I can see at the screen at the bottom, is 1200. So if I choose to put in the customer number of 1200 here, so I'll click in that value, type in 1200, and click on Save. So now my data is being filtered, and I can see now only 5 invoices of the over 90 that are related to Ron Black. And you also notice my total receivables has increased, or it been decreased, because I'm now only looking at Ronald Black's information. So now it's $123,000 instead of the $500,000 we were seeing earlier. And if we scroll down, we can now see that we have Sample Company Inc., customer 1200, Mr. Ronald Black, the company, and Black is the individual person we're speaking to, or in this specifically, AR contact. Here's Ron's email address, so if I need to send him an email, click on the link, send him an email. If I want to see the actual invoice, click on the invoice, be able to drill into that. Then I can see my original amount, days overdue, amount overdue, all broken out separately here in this one screen. We can also see our last action. So today at 2090, I called John to see when he was going to send that check, and he said that that check was sent, and the check number was 3455 on Wednesday. If this invoice is still open on Wednesday, then I will know that he was supposed to send a check and we haven't gotten a check, because if it was paid, it wouldn't be in receivables still. So at this point, I could call Ron and say, hey, Ron, I spoke to you about this check. What's the status? And then as I'm speaking to Ron on the phone, I can take some notes. So over here in Add Call Notes, if I scroll over, I can put in some call notes here. Actually, we're speaking to Ron today. Ron said the check was delayed until Friday mail. All right, and he said call back on Wednesday. Great, so we'll call back on Wednesday. Call back on Wednesday to follow up. That's my reminder. So I'm going to add that in. That now adds a task against Ron Black inside of CRM. I can now see the task here. Ron said the check was delayed until Friday mail. Call back on Wednesday to follow up. Great. So I need to put a follow-up in here as well. So I want to click on the drop down. I'll choose next Wednesday to call him. And I'll say I'll call him about 11 a.m. and I'll add that as a reminder. So now I have a reminder in the system to remind me to actually call Ron back, and I have a note in the system to tell me that I've spoken to him about this. Now at the top you can see a task has been added successfully, so I've been notified without leaving the screen that Ron Black has a task that I need to follow up on. And at any time we can simply click into Ron Black's information and actually go see those communications and those interactions inside of the Communications tab on the company. As we scroll down, we can see all the other invoices that we need to speak to Ron about as well. So this is really nice. The system allows me to filter this data while I'm speaking to a specific person. So I don't have to call him back 10 times or 5 times in this example for each invoice. We just speak about all of them that are overdue. And I even have, again, the total amount that's overdue and let him know that, hey, we really need to get this paid or we're going to have to put you on hold. So if I click on the But next to the filter, we have a little checkbox without a filter. What this gives me the ability to do is sort on specific information. So if I want to sort on invoice amount, so I could say due date, so I could see oldest date. Now I know we can click on the drop downs down below, but I still have the flexibility of filtering on other data that I may not be looking at directly. So the system gives me multiple options to sort on. And I can filter this any way I like. Can you think of other ways to help your staff become more productive? If you can, we'd love to hear about it. Please provide any suggestions that you come up with to our staff. You can reach us if you're an existing customer by calling 1-877-237-5786 or sales.agpac@sage.com. If you're not an existing customer or you're a prospect and you'd like to speak to us, you can reach us at 1-877-237-5790. Sales.agpac@sage.com is also an option. Thank you for viewing our presentation of the Extended Enterprise AR Collection Manager.